strong, oh. You can't know. You want more than 1,000 reasons why. You don't need to perfect, baby. There's nobody perfect, darling. No, there's nobody in the world will be like you.
Hello and welcome to the Touch a Cell show. We apologize for coming in late. The network is really terrible. We hope that we'll be able to sort this out as time goes on. Our lead person is off, unfortunately, but we'll manage the situation as best as we can. As soon as she can log on, we'll be back. So today we're going to be looking and reviewing this year, 2020, regarding sickle cell and other issues in 2020. You know, this year took us by surprise with the COVID pandemic. And a lot of times, when we get into this, what I call surprise situations, it can be challenging to cope. So we're going to discuss how we're able to bounce back. We're also going to discuss all the things we've been discussing over the period on the show, whether our voices are being heard, whether it's being effective. We're also going to look at people's situations later on in the other half, how they've been managing themselves in this COVID and what can be done as per sickle cell. There's so many issues that's going on. There's a bill, there's the EndSARS, there's so much noise going on, but how can we manage this situation? And as usual, I have Maureen Wachi with me on the show, and we brought in some of our team members at the Touch a Cell show. Of course, the online version, because you might be wondering, team members, I've probably seen this face before, but we have an online version, and we're going to be sharing on issues dealing with sickle cell in 2020, and just generally on issues surrounding 2020 as we review this year. Now we have on the show Yomi Oyinlami. I call him the poet and the connoisseur of words. He is one of our project coordinators and a content creator on
Good evening, ma. Good evening. So good to have you tonight.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, fantastic. Good evening, ma. Good evening, Nigeria. Good evening, world.
Yeah, good evening. You're welcome onto the show. We had also Peter here, but it seems that the network is disrupting everybody today. I don't know what's happening. Maybe the network has been box by boxing day. But we'll continue with the show to the best of our abilities. Now, okay, back on. Hello, Peter. How are you? Peter, can you hear us?
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Peter. Peter is also a project coordinator and also part of the events and communications team at our organization, SAMI. And he's also one of the Touch a Cell gangs, always discussing on the radio program. And I'm sure sometimes...
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Great. It's been on one of our editions. And so we're going to be talking about, not to waste time, we're still expecting other people, but not to waste time, we're going to be sharing about what the year, I'm going to start each and every one of you what the year 2020 has been for you personally and for the organizations in general as a non-profit. So I want to start with Peter. Oh, Peter has gone off. Oh, there. Okay, Yomi, you go. You start. Yomi, are you muted? Because I can't hear you. Yes, I can hear you now. Oh, you've gone off again. Okay, why? Okay, I think you are muted. That's why. Unmute yourself so that we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, network is bad. Okay, Peter, are you on? Network is really bad today. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Okay, Yomi, can you try speaking?
Yes. Can you hear me now? I'm speaking now.
I don't seem to hear you, or is it my
Yomi, I can hear you. I can hear you, Yomi.
Okay, so Maureen can hear me.
end? I don't know. I don't seem to hear.
Probably it's your end, man. All right, so let me move on. 2020 has been a fantastic year for me as a person. You know, we started with the euphoria of 2020. We have come into Vision 2020. Maureen has confirmed she can hear me. Peter, can you hear me too? All right. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you.
All right. So okay. So
Yomi, you can go on. We can hear you.
All right. Okay. So 2020 started with the euphoria, the joy that we have come into the year that we call Vision 2020. You know, when we were young and we hear a lot of things from our political leaders, they tell us about Vision 2020, that in 2020 we are going to have electricity, in 2020 we are going to have water, in 2020 we are going to have roads. But today is December 26th, and I think I moved from Ifo in Ogun State today to Lagos, and the road is just not so funny at all. I think light has not improved appreciably, but we thank God for everything all the same. January, February, and then March, we had to stay at home. I think that's also part of Vision 2020. It's funny. So, but we thank God, this is December, and we have been able to move over all of those things, and we've achieved as much as we can as a person and as an organization. It's been a wonderful journey. I have to say. Thank you. All right, I'm through.
On 2020 in review, just regarding the challenges we've gone through and your personal experience in trying to manage the situation.
Okay. All right. As an organization, we said that 2020 is our year of visibility and impact. Of course, when we came in, we thought we already had our plans. We already had our plans in place. This is how we are going to do it. This is how we are going to do it. But circumstances came, and then we still had to now rethink. Are we still going to achieve that visibility and impact? And I can say that we really did. even though the ways we now came about it was so different from what we planned initially from the word go. Visibility, I can say yes, we had more visibility. For example, touch a cell online, we didn't have it pre 2020. All we had was touch a cell radio, and that was limited to Lagos. But today we have touch a cell online. Everybody can watch us all over the globe. That's one of the visibility and impact that we made in 2020. For us in the media, I think because we had to stay at home, it now made us to think. It made us to think. What can we do so that people can know that SAMI really exists? And I can say that we were really able to do a lot of things which really impacted us and which really impacted our society. In fact, I can say that in 2020, a lot more people knew about SAMI than pre-2020. So I think that's that for me from my own perspective as it relates to SAMI.
Okay, all right. Let's hear from Peter. Peter, are you there? Okay, Toby. If Peter can't, Toby, share your views on 2020 in general, and basically as it impacts to sickle cell issues and sickle cell warriors. I think he's frozen. Peter, are you there? Peter. Okay, Maureen. I'll leave you to ask another questions. Maybe Yomi can answer that, because since Peter is frozen for some reason, maybe his network. So Maureen, if you have any questions, or should I ask you? Maybe I should even turn the questions to you. That what is your view on 2020 in general regarding sickle cell issues? Because I mean, there's a lot of noise going on, but have we really? Has there really been more noise or more attention on sickle cell because of all this noise, or a bit of attention? Maureen, can you hear me? Maureen.
Okay, so
Peter,
yes, I can hear you.
I mean, can you hear me? Because since Maureen doesn't seem to hear me. Maureen, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, did you hear my question?
Yes.
Okay, so over to you.
Okay. All right. So 2020. Well, we came into 2020 with a lot of things going on, globally, and as an organization and people living with chronic condition, I believe there was a lot of how do I say it? A lot of uncertainty, or when you talk about it with people living with chronic conditions such as sickle cell, the uncertainties were much there. And for us here in this part of the world, it was even much. I think it was more scary because we didn't know how it was going to be handled. We all know how it is with should I say our government and the people in general. So I believe it was a little bit scary, for us as an organization. I can remember that we kept thinking, okay, what if this happens? What if someone with sickle cell now has COVID? How are we going to handle it? What if one of our beneficiaries, we were so skeptical, and I can still say we did well. So far, so good. We managed it well. At least we didn't hear about so many people having or coming down the with COVID-19. So all in all, I would still say this year was a very good one. It, yes, it was a very good one. Unexpectedly or surprisingly very good. Surprisingly very good.
Yeah, that's true.
I used to say we are a God. Auntie, I used to say we are a God people. If you think you don't need God, when you come to Nigeria, you recognize that you need God.
I feel because the reality is not I mean, if you are going to say that people were following COVID safety rules and all that, that was what was protecting us. That would be we are talking another story. And I was just reflecting on that. It's funny enough, I was reflecting on that this afternoon, that there's so many, sometimes you forget yourself about your safety. And I just realized it's just God. Because if I'm going to really follow the rules as it was, definitely, yes, you could say, okay, that was the reason. But we all know that that is not the case in Nigeria. So there's no other person we can attribute it to God. Yes. But I wanted to say, I'm going to talk about over the weeks, we are months, so we've been talking about different issues warriors' health to warriors of how they manage their businesses, their career. Now, I want to focus on that issue, and I wish the others were on board, but I think it's something that we should try and reflect on as career people, first of all. And I know some of us even run our own, what I call side hustle. How has the impact of the COVID, the economy, challenged your career or even your side hustle, as it were? And what steps did you take to maybe improve on it, or did you abandon it? Like, oh, this is too much, and just let me focus on my career. And even in your career, how did you manage to make sure that one, you're productive, one, you're still relevant? Because let's face it, when we did that lockdown work from home thing, it was pretty, at least for me, it was pretty challenging. I had to psych myself that you're in the office. So how was it for you? I'll start with Maureen. Wow, unfortunately your network is bad. We didn't hear that. But can you add Toby while you're trying to adjust? Can you add Toby, please? While you're trying to adjust, that's okay. She's gone off. Okay. Anyways, me and you, Yomi. So Yomi, how was it for you?
Well, one thing I would appreciate 2020 forward is that 2020 made us realize that there's actually a world called the online world, the virtual world. Everything we knew before 2020 was social media. Let's do social media. Let's go on Twitter. Let's go on WhatsApp. That's what we knew. But 2020 forced us to know that we can actually do more with our data. And it even made us know the value of our data. That when you buy 1,000 naira data, you should know that you must get value for that 1,000 naira. It's not just to say hi to people. You know that there are deadlines to be met. You know that there are people to reach. You know that there are courses to be written. You know that a lot of things can be done without necessarily seeing people physically. 2020 made us see that. 2020 made us see that, and I don't think we are going back after this. Because I was even thinking that 2021 will actually run basically like 2020. Because looking at everything, the new strain that has been announced and everything, it's going to basically run like we have 2020. So work from home, we still a lot.
Yes.
We still going to need a lot more of that. A lot of people will still need to work virtually from home, even though we are not going to be, if we are not going to have total lockdown. But looking at what we have right now, it's more like lockdown. Schools are closed already for like 1 month. They are not sure. People working in offices from grade 1 to grade 12, they can't go to work anymore. So it's basically lockdown. In fact, a lot of people are expecting that anytime from now, this is where they started. I was gisting with one bus driver the other day. He was saying that this is where they started, though. Gradually, they will tell us, everybody go and sit down at home. So basically, that's how it is. And I think even people who are the low, people who can say they get money on a daily basis, they too have learned that they have to save now. They've learned it. I think I was speaking with one bus conductor. It was just a week after the EndSARS protest. He said that, my brother, I really suffered during EndSARS, so and I was very hungry. But now I've learned my lesson that I have to save. I have to save my money. Because I earn money on a daily basis does not mean I will now not save. So a lot of people have been able to learn that this world is actually more than just going out and coming in on a regular day-to-day basis. A lot of people now embrace OPay. You can see all these places where you can get your cash, you can transfer cash, you can collect cash on it every time, everywhere, even to villages now. Until you can, even to villages, when you get there, you are going to see all these people there. They will collect transfer from you. They do all sort of things. That is what this year has actually availed us. So I believe that like you always tell us, that we should look at the cup half full, not half empty. A lot of people have seen this 2020 as more half full than it's half empty. So that's what I can say concerning 2020 as a year.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for Maury to come on because she needs to add some people. Unfortunately,
all right.
I don't do that.
Okay, now coming to the sickle cell community. One of the things that 2020 has done for us is that finally the SCD Bill is in the House of Senate in Nigeria. For the first time, we've been campaigning.
Exactly.
We've been campaigning. We've done red umbrella work. We've done everything, but we don't know, maybe by hook or by crook, is in the floor of the Senate, and we've been able to attend the public hearing. We believe that gradually laws can actually we can edit laws, but
Okay. All right. I think we have a glitch. We'll try and add some people on.
Senate.
Today's network has been really bad. Yomi,
Seriously.
Continue.
Yeah. So it means that our voice is actually being heard. Our voice actually matters. 4 million people battling a chronic condition is no small business in Nigeria. And it means that what we are doing, the little work that we've been doing over the years, the communities we go to, all those smaller NGOs that they look up to us, the things that we do together with them, it means that all those things matter. It means that all those things matter. And I want to be appreciative of what this year has actually done for us. I want to be appreciative of what this year has done for us.
Yeah, it's been a challenging year. Okay, we have some of our people on. Okay, we have Toby Olaito, our programs manager, and also we have Banke Alawaye, one of our board members and a warrior, sickle cell warrior too. Hi everybody. The network has been so bad.
Hi.
Really. That
Good
we just
evening,
have
everyone.
to manage and create something fast. So Toby, we're talking about reviewing 2020 and how it has been. And one thing I was asking Yomi before people began to drop out was that COVID has been a challenge for people who are either running a business or having a career. And I was trying to ask, how has it been for you, and what how do you think people could manage this situation? Or how do you think people have been able to manage this period because of these challenges of COVID?
Yeah, thank you very much, Auntie. There's actually been a very, very interesting year. I won't say challenging per se, because it has revealed the content of people. You know, it has shown whether you are viable or not. Because during this COVID emergence, some people just got a pause. They didn't know what to do with their life again. They just got a pause. So that showed that they were not prepared for emergencies, and they didn't know how to innovate. Because this year has been a year of innovation, majorly, whereby the quality of your mindset will be tested to know whether you can handle difficulty well and not be broken by it, and instead be built by it. So this year has been a very interesting year, personally for me, and personally in the development space. Most people have had to innovate. How do we do what we are doing and still sustain it without stopping? And that's what I've seen in SAMI this year. We've had to innovate concerning our extra care clinic. We've had to innovate concerning how we reach out to our beneficiaries through phone calls. So one thing that I can see that helps SAMI this year is the quality. And once there's innovation, there will continually be elevation. And those that cannot innovate well will not be able to express elevation. You know, just like what happened during the time of Noah. The same water that drowned some people and they died is the same water that raised lots of people and they survived. So during this COVID-19, many people have pivoted, many people have been able to innovate, many people have made millions, billions. Still, some people are drowned in sorrow, in penury, in confusion. So it just revealed the content of people. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Hello?
Are you still there? Frozen. Okay. Hello?
Yeah.
Toby, are you still there?
Hello, ma. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm alive.
All right. Okay. Peter, you're on. What has been the experience for you this year in managing, just even working from home and all that?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
You have to also manage your health. Yes, I can hear you. I've just asked Peter a question. There seems to be a delay.
Network in
Peter
Nigeria
has gone off. Okay, let's move on. So you are about to say something, Toby?
Yeah, I said network in Nigeria has been very, very bad. And one of the things that has kept many people afloat in business this year has been the internet. So, and going forward now, to do business to work well, this is one thing the country has to look into, the internet infrastructure, because many people have seen that they won't spend much money again doing meetings. They have to go online. They have to do so. These are the realities we have come to see now, that online, there are three kinds of world. We have the celestial world, which is the heavenly world. We have the terrestrial world, which is where human beings are. But now we have the digital world. Digital world has now taken over the space, and we cannot do without the world. That world.
Yeah, the digital space is good, but what would you say about what would you say about the fact that okay, with digital space, there are those that are disenfranchised from even having access to internet and all that. How can, because there's a small yalata or meat pepper seller in the market who just uses her touchlight phone. For those of us who don't know who the touchlight phone is, those small phones that has not Android or smartphone that have a touchlight on them, and they have to know how to manage their business. They still have to get customers and all that.
Yes.
So how can we adapt to such situations, especially when we're not tech savvy, we don't have access to internet and all that?
Auntie, let me answer that question. Let me answer that question.
Okay, let your me answer the question.
All those pepper sellers that you talk about, let me tell you, those people have POS with them now. Those of many of them they know SMS short code. They know SMS short code, GTB short code, all the short code for their banks. They know it now. So just send them a text, they will get their money. So they don't have issues again. Everybody, like Mr. Toby said earlier, everybody is now awake to the responsibilities. They are now awake to what is happening in the world now. So no excuses. I told you, when you go to villages now, you even have those what do you call them? Cash withdrawals and cash transfers now. You have them even to villages. You have them. Enough of them.
This season has made people to upskill.
Yes.
Many people now that didn't go to school, they know phone numbers, they know codes. In fact, this season has gotten many people to upskill themselves beyond measure. Beyond measure.
Yeah.
So
okay, we have David Olasayinde on. He's a warrior and also a professional photographer. And I'm just going to ask you this question, David, because we're talking about businesses and even professionals, how they've been able to manage through this period. Now, you are a professional photographer. Now, I know you typically mostly rely on events and all that. This has been a year of low existing events. How have you been able to pivot around to find some relevance, to even make income in general, especially in this economy that is up and down? David, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? I'm responding.
Yes.
Okay, so truth be told, it has not been easy. The first 5 weeks into the lockdown was harrowing. It was a harrowing experience. I mean, there were no jobs, like you said. But again, I just had to look inwards and look, for me to keep my sanity, I had to. I mean, some people know I'm into copy editing. I had to upskill on that, and then got in touch with old clients that I've not heard from in a while. That look, this skill isn't rusty. We still have it in us, So I actually used that to augment at the time. Then, what I also did, a lot of other photographers, when they take pictures, they discard. I don't discard pictures. I have pictures that are as old as 10 years ago. I have them. So what I do, what I do is that that period I went through my old clients and I spoke to them that, look, I still have some of these pictures. I can help you recreate them into something much more better compared to 5-10 years ago. And a few of them keyed innovation. Of course, the thing is, the pandemic affected everybody. So both the contractor and the contractee, so to say, were affected. But a few of them that found it valuable to them, they got in touch, and then I was able to do a reproduction of some of their pictures to something more exclusive for them. And that's it, basically.
Wow. Interesting.
So in other words, you had to find some relevance in this whole situation.
Yes.
Unfortunately, as he says, innovation, some people may not be able to think about innovation. Which comes, I don't know if Banker is on. I see, I'm not sure if she's on yet. Is anybody else on? I can't really see, but no problem. Maureen, I'll hand you over. Do you have any questions as we discuss this issue? Because I know we're rounding up in 2020, and I was telling someone, and I keep saying it, that, oh, people are praying, oh, I pray that 2020 will go, all this wahala is too much, 2020 has been a terrible year, we had this, had that. But I try to tell them that I hope you realize that if COVID is still going to carry into 2021. So, so I don't know if you have any questions or any comments on what we've been discussing about regarding just 2020, and especially, and I want us to go into sickle cell itself, sickle cell issues, sickle cell advocacy, sickle cell awareness, and all that. Maureen, did you hear me?
She's frozen.
I didn't get.
Oh, she's.
Question.
Oh, you didn't get the question. Okay, I said if you had any comments or questions towards
it breaking. My network is very bad.
Breaking. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. Let me leave it to them to answer. In terms of, okay, David, this is to you. In terms of sickle cell advocacy, I know we had a lot of noise this year with other issues, distractions. We had COVID, we had EndSARS, we had is it the kidnappings, whatever. They had all sorts of things. But do you think in the midst of that, we've been able to have some relevance as regards sickle cell matters? Do you think there was still the capacity to bring more information out and people were there to listen?
Very well, yes, we did. Remember this year we had our sickle cell day, that's in June. And we were supposed to have our typical signature red umbrella walk. But we did not have it. Rather, we had a virtual red umbrella walk. And I realized that we reached out to more people, unlike when we were specifically directed to a particular location or direction physically now. So like last year, I remember we went from Unilag to Yaba and the St. Virus. But this year now, red umbrella walk was all over the world. I can simply say so, because we didn't have to be physically present. That alone was enough awareness. It was enough advocacy. We didn't have to converge physically. We also had our sickle cell awareness month. Of course, that has always been an online there's always been an online engagement in previous years. But this time around, because we are already acclimatized to the fact that we are in a new era where you don't have to be physically present, people tuned in more. There was more engagement, there was more interaction compared to last year that people are used to just gathering physically. So I would say between March and June, we were able to gain momentum with red umbrella work virtually. Now between June and September, we gained more momentum. So by the time we got to September, the 1st of September, that month was actually agog. We had a lot of people involved. Even for the first time, we had awareness where we had short video clips of people from all over the world. We've never had it in that form. And it's not as if we couldn't have done it in previous years, but because we never thought of it, or even if we may have thought of it, we never gave it a second thought. But this time around, we realized that, look, I can be in the comfort of my bedroom, do a short video clip, send it, and the whole world sees it. And with that, because you are involved in this, an American is involved, a Rwandan is involved, an Indian is involved, whoever knows individuals from these individual countries, we want to key in and watch what these people have to say. And before you know it, it has become an international awareness, so to say. So it was not just limited to our local. I think the effect of the pandemic, the effect of the lockdown, really helped us to reach out to more people. And again, you know, telecommunications companies realized that, look, this was the time they made more money. They were in competition, win subscribers. So this time around, unlike last year, that to subscribe and be online always was a challenge financially for most people. This time around, there's a kind of respite because of the competition from different telecommunication companies. Initially, I was always of the opinion that, look, it's not everybody that will always be online. It's not everybody that will have the financial capability to be online. But this time around, you discover that even virtually everybody was up and doing, and it was really, really interesting. I think it was worth it.
Okay. All right. Johnny, I'll go to you with the same question.
Auntie, do you know that our parents are online now? Do you know that our parents are online now?
Yes.
You can't just do anything now because you just hear you just said that. Yomi, when did you do this thing?
Yes.
Even my mother that is 85, she's watching YouTube. And her favorite thing is to watch Harry and Meghan issues. She said, "Oh, she'll come and tell me this thing happened to Harry and Meghan. Oh, did you see this leak?" And she doesn't understand what she sees on YouTube is different from what YouTube gives me to watch. So, good to have you finally back.
Hello.
Welcome, ma'am.
Go ahead, Toby.
I just think people have the capacity to adapt. You know, when cell phone first came out, it was so expensive. It was looking as if nobody could even buy a cell phone or buy SIM card. But as the years grew by, people started adapting. So now the local man is becoming global. And that's one thing that this year has done for the sickle cell advocacy. We have become global. Everyone has been able to connect globally to this message. And also, it has made sickle cell warriors to see that they can still be relevant even without physical activity, because most of them are limited by physical activity. But now they can use the online platforms to sell their goods, to even domesticate their service. So it has really brought to the fore other avenues to execute your work without you being physically present, which has really helped some people to leapfrog their businesses this year. So I think it has been a good year for the sickle cell community. I think so. I think so.
Banker, do you have anything to add? I know you're in the tech space, you run a business, and you even had a career, and you see people with careers working in this period. How do you think COVID has been, how will I call it, has been a challenge, and how do you think it has even helped in changing the scheme of things in the world around, especially in Nigeria when it concerns Nigerians?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I mean, I still agree with what Toby was saying and his observations about how technology has changed everything, and it has created so many opportunities, and I think that's what we all have to focus on. This year with COVID, we all started out very unsure, very scared, especially us with sickle cell and other people with other chronic conditions. It was rather scary to think that this is something else we have to worry about, and this is something that we might be highly susceptible to, and it was really scary to start. But as we understood how it works, what precautions to take, I think people started to sort of grow in a little bit of confidence and understand that, okay, we have a little bit of control over what is going on. Also, I think for most people who have either tried to work with technology or have even tried to convince their employers that, you know what, I don't have to come to the office, I can do this work, it suddenly gave them a chance to show the possibilities of what technology can do for the world of work. Remote working no longer becomes something that we're trying to convince employers of, but it was something that they had to do. And because they had to do it, they were open to trying new technologies, trying new ways of working, trying new ways of dealing with their employees. And I think that has improved the world of work in general, generally across board for all professions. The fact that we see the possibilities of what technology can do for us, I think is made, is created a big leap from where we were and where we should have been already, but we were struggling to like drag people into the 21st century. That's come with us. This is where we're going. They've been forced to go into it, and I think that it can only get better from here. Of course, there's still issues. Infrastructure is there. We're all complaining about infrastructure, but you know what? We are managing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I thought somebody was trying to say something. So I was just saying that even with the infrastructure issues, I mean, here we are, we're trying to get on this call. The internet is not working. It's not this, it's not that. But
I
you know what?
my phone.
Week in, week out, all of us, we communicate, we do our work, we create valuable services for people in Nigeria, for people abroad, even with all this lack of infrastructure that we complain about. We have a long way to go. But let's not belittle or demean how far we have come and how much we have achieved. We've done a lot and we still have a lot to do. But, you know, let's take a moment and, you know, it's the end of the year. Let's be proud of the things that we have done. The strides we've made, even with all the lack of everything.
That's right.
The lack of healthcare, the lack of infrastructure, the lack of government, the lack of this. Let's still remember how far we have come.
Yeah. Oh, great. We have Esther here. Esther, we can't see your face though. Okay, you're on. You have to unmute yourself so that we can hear you talk. Great to have you on board. Can you hear me, Esther? I think you need to unmute yourself.
Welcome, Esther.
Hello, Esther. I think Esther is still struggling to get on board.
Yes, everybody's struggling with network today.
You know, it always happens.
But I'll go back to this. It does it? I don't know. Just already, I mean, I was using this thing.
We always have issues with network, with the internet. I don't know whether more people are online, whether more people are making calls, whether the networks are just, I don't know why they are congested, but it always happens at the end of the year. It seems like more of us are getting online, whether it's for entertainment or for
the traffic is very high. Yeah, entertainment for calls, so the traffic is very high. So
yes,
I think we just need to adapt.
That's true.
We make it work anyway, don't we?
Okay, speaking of adapting, I'm looking at 2021 now. What do you think are the takeaways we can adapt or innovate on coming in 2020, 2021? Because let's face it. In fact, I'm like Yomi said, I think it was Yomi that was saying earlier. I'm just expecting them to hear to announce we are on lockdown again. I was talking to my cousins-in-law yesterday and my nieces and nephew, and in UK, and they are on lockdown. They call it level 4 lockdown. That means that you can't practically go anywhere. I said it's very urgent, you know.
Yeah.
And on top of it, they have a six person limit to a house.
Yes.
So they even had to use what I call wuru to get the other people that don't really stay in the house, other family members, to come in and all that. So I said, wow, I can't imagine it happening here in Nigeria, where we have big families. Which one will they do? I can't imagine it happening here in Nigeria, where we have big families. Which one will they do 6 room? So So what do you think should be the takeaways as we enter into 2021? There's a feedback. I'm getting a feedback of my
there's an echo somewhere.
I don't know. There's a feedback. I'm getting a feedback of my voice.
Yeah, there's an echo somewhere.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where it's coming from. But anyway, let's try and continue. But anyway, what do you think people can adapt from 2020 what do you think into 2021? Because let's face it, things are going to still remain the same for a while. So who wants to start and pick it up? So who wants to start and pick it up?
Oh wow! Sorry,
All
the
right.
feedback is really
Oh,
bad,
wow.
but I hope that it doesn't
Yeah, I
translate
don't
to
know
the
where
people
the
who are
feedback
watching.
is coming from. Where the feedback is coming from.
Well, let's try
Is
and
Oh,
somebody
see if
having
we can
another
get.
phone and they are playing another
Yeah, are
phone?
you signed in on two devices?
Because if you are using two devices, that might be the cause.
yeah. So check your devices. So the echo is too much. All right.
It's
So can we
I think it's better now.
Yeah.
start?
okay. It's better.
now.
Yeah, it's better now. Oh, nope.
Yeah, we
Not
starting.
really. Not really.
Let me mute myself and you can continue. Somebody talk.
Okay,
All right.
I'm going
So
to try now. Sorry, are you on mute? I can still hear myself. Or can you guys still hear the echo?
no, we can hear you
It's
very
still
well.
echoing.
Yeah,
It's still echoing.
but it's okay. It's okay. We can hear
Yeah.
you.
Well, let's just try and continue talking, and hopefully the echo is not so bad that people can't understand what we're saying.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
As Tony was asking now, what's our takeaway from 2020? You know what, Tony, and I think it was, I'm not sure, I think it's Yomi at the beginning who was saying that we all started 2020 with aspirations and goals and plans, and as usual, as you start the year, you have all these things that it is that you want to achieve. I do this thing where I have a word for the year, and I think my word for last year was abundant, or for this year was abundant. And March came and the whole world changed abundantly. It changed so much that I'm not even sure that any one of us went back to our goals to even see whether we were on track or not on track to those goals. It was just a case of surviving one day to the other. And I think if we've learned anything from this year, it is survival. It is that we can adapt. It is that we can. I feel like more now than ever. I feel that we can overcome. If we put our minds to things, we can figure out ways around issues, and we can figure out solutions to issues. So I feel like yes, in 2021, it's probably a time where we will see more resilience. We will see more examples of our resilience. We will see ourselves finding. Not being stuck in the status quo, but being open to the fact that you can do things differently. People will be more open to being able to do things differently, not how we've always done it. And I think that's a good thing. That would be a good place for us all to be in 2021.
Wow, lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Would anybody else like to contribute?
All right. There are two things.
Yomi, were you
smoking? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was trying to say that 2021 will follow what we have started in 2020. So I feel that we should innovate more. Then we should step our games. We should step up our games. That's basically what I want to say.
Thank you to Yomi. Toby, you were going to say something as well.
Yeah, there are two major takeaways I've gotten from this year. And number one, from the angle of the workplace, I've discovered that work going forward will be based more on productivity and not just activity. Not just come to the office and stay for 10 hours and you're not achieving anything. That has been the norm. We just say I'm working 8 to 5, and they just glorify the hours. They don't glorify the productivity. And that has to change going forward, whereby every hour counts. And people are measured based on productivity, not just hour. That's the first thing I think we will need to measure going forward. And number two, in terms of relationship, this year has made people to understand the value of communication. people you cannot go and meet in their houses. You have to call them. You have to be able to be patient to even listen to them. So that's really shown the value of love. If we don't love somebody, you won't even call the person. So this year has shown that, do you really love me to call me, to spend time, hours on phone, to speak to me? Then lastly, is the issue of, since we are now online, we have to look at how do we check people, because there are so many meetings online now. Some will just put their picture and go and sleep or go somewhere else. How do you check whether people are active in your meetings? So we do become creative of how do we measure productivity with online meetings, online trainings. So you would think you are making impact, and at the end you're just wasting your time. So creativity must expand in that area too, so that we can be able to balance being online with impact, and also measuring the impact of what you're doing online, then at the same time dealing with sustainable internet infrastructure. So these are the things we need to come to terms with and pivot as the year goes forward.
Thank you, Toby. Have we lost Toyin? Toyin, are you still there?
Internet is shaking.
I'm here. Sorry, I didn't
Maureen, do you
myself.
want to say any words, or would you wrap up?
I think the problem is for me.
Did we ever get into the call? Maureen?
The network is everything is it's been breaking, and so I didn't hear much, and I'm just here so because I'm the only one who can add people to the. Yes, if you can hear me, that so I don't know what question is.
Hello, Peter.
What has been?
We can hear you well.
Breaking, keep going,
not
coming,
bad,
breaking.
but it could be better. But at least we can hear you now.
Yes.
I just hear
good
when
evening, ma'am.
maybe someone calls my name or something, but I can't make out.
Okay, I can't hear anybody, so I'm going to exit and come back in.
Peter is here. Peter. Okay, go ahead. What are your views, and what do you think? What are your lessons learned, and what do you think you can take into 2021, considering all that has happened in this year? Are you there?
So, yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me take it to. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So, 2020. What 2020 actually taught me is that no matter what comes, you can actually pull through. So, yes, we all had high hopes in 2020, and Vision 20 has been there since maybe I was in primary school. And it came, and we saw something different. Now it made us know that so it made us know that we
Wow. Okay, Peter, let me put you on pause here and turn to David. Well, maybe your network gets better. So, David, what are your own thoughts?
Hello? Network, good.
Yeah, let me put you on pause.
Hello,
first.
can you
Let
hear
David
me?
talk, then we'll come back. Maybe your network is breaking. So let me see. Okay, David, over to you. You're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Good. Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, so just like what Peter said, we've been hearing of Vision 2020 so much hype. And the year came, I was like, so this is it. You know, but in retrospect, what I can really take back is that first, we shouldn't major on the minor. This year has taught us to value the essence of life. Personally, I know people that I lost. In my parents' place, my parents' close, 4 people died in 2 months. It has never happened before. It has never happened before. So what am I saying? During the lockdown, prior to the lockdown, I sold them 2 pairs of trousers, and I couldn't wear it all through the lockdown and even after the lockdown. All I was just wearing was singlet and boxers. There was nowhere to go. In my neighborhood, all the people that had so many cars, their cars were just parked down. Why am I saying all this? 2020 made us realize that, look, life is ephemeral. Life is transient. Let us value the basics of life. Let us value the basics of life. Now, going forward, we've been talking about everybody now active online. Yeah. So social media is equivalent to showbiz. It's all about showbiz. Do we really know what people are going through? Going forward, let us take that time to reach out to people beyond the screens of our phones. Let's have physical touch. Even if it might not be physical, but let people feel us physically. Let it not just be that, yeah, you've seen this guy has uploaded a recent photo on his status. Apparently, you think he's doing well. But can we call people? Can we visit people and know how they are really doing? This is what mankind wants to be. We were never wired to live our life on the screens of our phones.
Yeah.
Yes, we're never wired to live our lives on the screens of our phones. You were saying something about your cousins-in-law and how their lifestyle is being altered. It will be very, very difficult in a society like ours because we've always had a communal lifestyle, and that is why it is very, very difficult for us to adhere to the COVID-19 lockdown measures. Over there, they can afford to be on their own, but yeah, this is not who we are. You know, then when they were saying the new normal, I was always saying that, look, I'm not going to tune myself to the new normal because this is not who we are. COVID-19 shouldn't define who we are as human beings. Rather, we should adapt to see that, look, as human beings, you should still be able to value yourself as a human being. Reach out to people beyond the screens of your phone. That's all I have to say.
Exactly. So I'm going to round up. I'm going to just take 1 minute to take the last words from each and every one of you. I know we're going to have to repeat this thing next, maybe first beginning of the year, because there are a lot of people, even Esther, that wanted to hear her story, couldn't get her. Network has been so bad. But we'll definitely need to come back again to discuss these issues and how we can face 2021 and be better people, even despite whether we have sickle cell or even just generally in this whole situation of ours. But last words from you, and then we'll round up. Toby.
All right. So, can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me? So,
yes.
Last words is that we should just take the word advantage. No matter what we have been through this year, sincerely, the world might not return back to normal. Yeah, we have different cultures. African people are different from white people. But the truth is that this pandemic has made us global. And we have been able to see that whatever affects somebody in the North Pole can affect somebody in the South Pole. And we all have seen the value of humanity, just like what David said. We've seen the value of humanity, whereby everybody now becomes one based on one issue. So going forward, we should also look at the issue of the SDG goal, the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, these SDGs are built on people, peace, prosperity, progress. Using what you have now not to affect the people that will come in the future.
So that means that if something that happened in China could affect us in Africa, you should be careful of what you do. Be responsible, be conscious of what you do. Let's look at the 17 SDG goals and take them to heart seriously, because if we can maintain these 17 goals properly, going forward, the earth will become a better place for all of us. We don't have a second earth. We only have one earth, one. There's no plan B. The only plan you have after leaving this is that you go to heaven or you go to hell. So while you're on earth, we must do our best to be responsible, to be sustainable and strategic. So those are my passing words. So we can be able to keep adapting, keep innovating, and ensure that we live well for as long as God wants to live on earth, and not spoil the earth by our own hands.
And that makes me remember Michael Jackson's song, Earth Song. I think that's what we should all listen to tonight before we go to bed.
Very important.
Yes, exactly. So, David, any last words before we sign off?
Let's all go and listen to Earth Song by Michael Jackson.
Taxi. Exactly. What about us? I remember the song so well. So yes, we'll take. I was going to Google the words to give a few words, but let's try and listen to it and remember that we are human first of all before we are techie, and regardless of what is happening around us, let us still mean that community feeling, loving one another, talking and taking care of one another, and just listening, because sometimes we get so involved in so much tech, we tend to forget everything that is going around us, and communicating with people around us one-on-one and learning about them rather than what they post on their social media page. So definitely we'll continue this program next. I think that's next week. I think anyway, first Saturday of the year, we'll be there. Next year.
Happy New Year in advance.
Next year. Happy New Year in advance. I hope you've had a lovely Boxing Day, boxing everything, or is it unboxing everything, whichever one it is. And even if you don't have, I believe in a sense of gratitude, regardless of whether you had a present or this. The fact that you are alive, there's so much happening that people have passed on. The doctor and her children, another person who died somewhere again, in just this week, last 2 weeks. So one should be grateful that at least I am alive. I can breathe, I can see you, I can talk to you. Yes, despite whatever we feel that we did not get that we wanted, but 2021 is another year. So prepare your goals, prepare your strategies, prepare your plans, and stick to it. Even though you think you are failing, just continue, be persistent, be resilient, because that is all that we need to take us to the next level. So thank you, Yomi, and thank you, Toby. Thank you for being on the show. God bless you. Hope I can end this. So this has been a production of the Sickle Cell Advocacy and Management Initiative, supported by the Public Affairs section of US Consulate. We apologize for all the technical issues, and we hope that next week we'll be able to adjust and make this better. Till then, have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.